as an organizer and may now speak to any other organizers or panelists.
Hey, good morning, everybody. It's Pat. Happy Friday. Welcome to Fridays with Pat. Appreciate you coming on today. I've got an awesome lineup here for you today, and the things we're going to cover. I'm looking for my glasses. But as we start off, I just want to make sure everybody can hear me. Do a sound check. Can you guys hear me okay? Just type in yes if you can. All right. What's up, Lee? All right. Very good. Jace, can you hear me? All right. Let's real quick.
I can hear you.
Oh, there you are. What's up, brother?
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing good, buddy. How you doing?
Doing good. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday to you, pal. Guys, I wanna go around the horn and make today as interactive as I can. I'm gonna bring you on in just a sec, Jace. But I've been going through these past few weeks, as you guys know, kind of diving into some other things that'll help you guys become more successful at your business outside of training on the CRM. And that's really what these Fridays with Pat are for, is a deeper understanding of how can we use this CRM to help drive productivity in three areas: internet marketing, workflow management, and better communication, adding value, creating reciprocity, and therefore referrals from your past clients, people that you know. That's really what you've hired us to do. That's what these Fridays with Pat are designed to fulfill. Is our monthly obligation to you is to make sure you understand how to use this system in those particular three areas. Now, that being said, I'm also a coach and a consultant in the business. So I've got knowledge and understanding of offline stuff that'll help drive your productivity. And as I coach and mentor a few people, and some of those people are actually on our call, I do open my schedule up for some one-on-one training. Um, they're starting to see the impact of marrying belly to belly with online and technology. How can you use this system to help leverage your time to become more effective? How can you use this system to drive your online marketing presence, creating more top of mind awareness, and therefore more referrals? And that's something I want to talk about in the later part of today. Is what are the expectations of the topic of internet marketing? What are the basic things you should be doing on a regular and consistent basis? But I thought I'd start by offering a script. So many people, when I go through scripts, say, Pat, can you send me that script? And to be honest with you, half the time I do it, actually 90% of the time I do it, it's just in my head because I've done it for so many years. I've been trained for so many years to be scripted that I understand the sales process, the psychology of selling, to a level where I can just come up with some words immediately on the top of my head, and it's going to sound right. It's going to be consistent with the fundamentals and the psychology of selling. So I thought I'd offer you loan originators and realtors just some words, a script that you can use right away to help drive referrals for your business. Okay. Let's real quick talk about this. Okay. Let me hide the screen so you don't start reading ahead here. Um, Referral marketing versus cold call marketing. I don't think I have to sell you guys on the fact that you'd much rather contact and call referred leads than you would cold leads, right? And I think that's a lot of time with Zillow, Trulia, or Realtor.com. You just have to call so many people to get somebody interested and put them in the pipeline, and it's an all day type thing, right? To convert one, and you look at that, and if you're not really truly sure if the words are working, what ends up saying is you end up coming back and saying, well, these leads suck, or none of these leads work. And I hear that all the time when I manage my salespeople. When I was hired to turn a bank around, I was their national sales manager. There's two types of people. You had your top producers who never said the leads suck, and then you had the other people that did. Um, but it's the numbers are the numbers. Okay, when you get 10 referrals, okay, you're going to book appointments, and those 8 of those 10 are going to be receptive and book an appointment with you, right? And of those 8, you're going to sell almost every single one of them, unless you really, really do a poor job of disseminating your value. And I see a lot of that in the mortgage industry, because most loan originators immediately they start with fielding questions from the prospect. What are your rates, right? The minute you start answering, if you don't control that sales call and that sales presentation on the onset, you're done, right? So actually, in one of my one-on-one calls in my coaching sessions with a guy that attends these sessions frequently, almost every week, I said, he said, how do you take control? I said, well, first of all, foremost, you have to build rapport. And if you're getting referrals, it's really important to profile people. Tell me about them. Tell me their likes. Tell me their dislikes. Tell me their interests. Tell me about them, so you have something to talk about with them when you do sit with them, or do talk to them on the phone to book an appointment, right? So it's important whenever you get a referral to take the time to profile that referee with the person that's referring to you, okay? Because you certainly don't want to have all your New York Yankee gear up all over the place when they're a devout Red Sox fan, and et cetera. You understand what I'm saying? Or talk about how great the Yankees are when they're Red Sox fans. So you get the point. So I said, what you want to do is transition out of that rapport, and immediately, before they even start talking, you have to establish control right there. And you realtors, it doesn't matter what you sell, okay? Opening line. John, what I'd like to do is just take a few minutes. I have a couple basic questions for you. And based on your response to those questions, I'll know within a short period of time if I can help you out, and if there's a match between you and I and our organization. If there is, I'm going to tell you why, how, and how we can help you get from point A to point B. If there's not, I'll tell you that too. Unlike where most salespeople just want to, have you flip through binders and watch PowerPoint presentations, I'm not like that. I really take a approach of prescription without diagnosis is malpractice. We really have to find out where you guys are, where you want to go, and if I can help get you there. Does that make sense, John? Great. First question I have for you is this. Outside of product rates or terms, we're going to talk about that next. So you've isolated that, right? Outside of products, the product, which the interest rates and stuff like that, talk to me about your expectations. Obviously, you're not with Quicken Loans where you're talking to somebody in a cubicle. You could have done that, but you chose to sit belly to belly. You chose to sit here with me. There's got to be other things that are important to you when you look at choosing a loan originator outside of, just the interest rates and what the closing costs are, stuff like that. What are the expectations? What are the 3 or 4 things that you would say are very, very important to you, right? And they can, but here's the best part. No matter what it is they say, right, they'll always funnel into one of 3 categories. Right? There's only 4 things that every consumer wants from a loan originator. Number 1 is communication. Number 2 is integrity. Number 3 is a smooth process, no hiccups, and timely close. And number 4 is competitive products and interest rates. That's it. So no matter what it is they say, it's going to funnel into one of those 4 categories. And what that enables you to do is craft your sales presentation with your words, your personality, your style. So on a scale from 1 to 10, you can be an 8 or better, scripted, internalized, and designed to sequence that consumer to a predetermined path so that you've already prepared for those things, right? So you qualify those emotional things first, then you talk about interest rates, products, what's your urgency, how long do you plan on living there? Because in your head you're trying to think what's best for them. Is it an ARM? Is it a VA? Or is it a USDA? Is it a 30-year conventional? Is it a fix? Is it a conventional 97? Based on their criteria, their credit score, and all the numbers, you do typically the only thing most loan originators do, which is a product qualify. But when you have communication, when you ask them that question, communication, that's important to you, John and Mary. Yep, proactive. Would you agree this industry is notoriously known for not communicating, not answering the phone, not being timely with things? Yes, great. So on a scale from 1 to 10, you'd rank it a 10, correct? And they'll say, no, I'd rank it a 12. Fantastic. Okay, what else? Well, I want to make sure that that I'm not being bamboozled. They may say something like that. What do you mean by that? Well, blah 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 blah. That the rates, I'm not getting gouged. Blah 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 blah. All right. I want to make sure that there's no hiccups. That we close on time. I mean, I'm moving into Cupertino. My wife's in Texas right now. I can't afford to sit there and live in an apartment for 6 months. When we're moving out of that house, we have to close on time. Okay, so would you say a smooth and complete process and a timely close is a 12 as well? Yes. Okay. Boom. Right. So once you get that, boom, now you can present. Now those are the things, because you're not offering products, rates, and terms. The bank is, right? So the things that they value, that is really the reason why they're going to use you over any other loan originator, is communication, integrity, and the smooth process. Same thing for real estate agents. Most real estate agents, I mean, I tell you, man, I witnessed it firsthand over the last 6 months. The consumer dictates the entire process. They start asking the questions, the realtor answers the questions, and next thing you know, you're forced to send them typically an email with comps, right? All right. Now, some realtors on this phone are like, God, no, I would never send that over the email. Well, good for you for saying that. But I've witnessed somebody that actually recently, somebody that does okay, makes about $150, 150 grand. I was on the 3-way call. He said, why don't you do the comps, email it to me, and we'll follow up. What did he do? He did the comps, emailed it to him, and then what do you do? Now you can just shop. You talk to some other realtor that blows smoke up there, tells them they can sell their house and get a little bit more for it. They're going to use that because the realtor, there was no value established, So when you're doing your listing presentation, my real estate agents, and you walk into that home, first and foremost, you get belly to belly and you defer every single time. They say, no, just send it to me. John, I've been doing this an awfully long time. I need to come in and see the house. I need to walk through. I need to sit down and learn a little bit, have some very specific questions for you. I'm very good at doing this. I've been doing this a very long time. If it's okay with you, I really need to follow my process to help my clients out like I have with so many people. Is it okay if I meet you at your house? Yes. Okay, fantastic, right? Now, if they keep pushing back, obviously you're going to lose the sale anyway. See what you can do over the phone. All right. But 99% of the time, based on your level of conviction and preparedness for overcoming those objections, they're going to meet with you at the house. So when you do the house, you build rapport. You're like, gosh, man, this house looks awesome. This is fantastic. Don't overdo it. Oh my God, that chandelier is just gorgeous. Oh my God, look at this crown molding. You do that, man, and you reek of somebody that's never sold a house in their entire life, right? So you're just very complimentary. But, John, I'll tell you what I'd like to do before we sit down at that kitchen table. I'd like to walk around the house, take a quick tour, take a look at the room size, the condition of the house, and we could sit down and have a conversation. Is that okay? Boom. You're not. Now, the reason why you do that is not because you're looking for the room size and condition of the house. You're doing that to look for the pictures on the wall, the Little League pictures. Do they like baseball? Does the husband like, sports or music or whatever? You're looking for things to build rapport with, right? So that when you do sit at the kitchen table, you can reach into that heart and talk to that heart, right? John, so you do the same thing you would for loan originators. You sit down, John and Mary, I'll tell you what I'd like to do. I got a couple questions I'd like to ask you. And once you answer those questions, I will know very quickly, within 10 minutes, if I'm the right real estate agent for you or not, based on your response. And if I am, I'm going to tell you why. We're going to talk about the price of the house. We're going to talk about the marketing of the house, etc. And what it is I do that no other real estate agent that's going to sit in front of you does not do. Okay. But I would like to ask you a few candid questions. When you look to choose a realtor, outside of getting the house sold and the price of the house, what is important to you when you look to choose a realtor outside of those things? What are they going to say? You know what I mean? They're going to say communication. They're going to say integrity, right? So all those things, the process, so now you're going to actually have a presentation that outside of price and marketing plan, you're bringing that whole package together, right? And it's just over and over and over again. I've trained 15. At one point, I was training 15 of the top real estate agents in the country. And this is what they did. This is how they thought. And every presentation was exactly the same, believe it or not. So what can we do to prospect? The number one thing is prospect, because even with lukewarm sales ability, the reality is everyone on this phone, you need more prospects, okay? And that's why you're here. That's why you show up on Fridays, okay? And I get that. But so loan originators, what can I do to generate some business right now? Okay. Well, you want to meet more realtors. Okay. First and foremost, I mean, showing up with bagels and rate sheets in the offices is exercise in futility. Okay. Don't take a look at what everybody else does and do the direct opposite if you want to be successful. That's what I always tell people. Right. So, first and foremost, cold calling agents is a lot more difficult. It's 110-1. So cold call numbers are 110-1. You got to contact 100 people, which means you may have to make 200 dials, 300 dials, right? So you contact 100 people, 10 people will be interested, and you end up doing business with one. So if you look at actually getting a hold of 100 people, that may take you a full week to actually speak with 100 people if you're hustling. And that's all you're doing, right? To make one sale, your dollar per hour is way lower than it would be for referrals, because with referrals, number one, you're getting the right number, the cell phone number, and you're going to start the phone presentation like this. Hey, John, this is Pat Fenton here with Keller Williams. Keller Williams in Rochester, New York here. You and I don't know each other, but we have a mutual acquaintance, Jason Brown, who suggested I meet with you. He told me you're becoming an empty nester, and etc. That's if you're talking to somebody that is looking for a deal. But if loan originators, you want to call realtors, okay, and start getting more referrals from realtors. Every single person that you know, which is over 100 people, knows of at least 3 realtors. All right, let's just say 1. Everyone knows 1. We know that. Great. Call them up. How's everything going? Build rapport. How's Mary? How's the kids? How's the house? Listen, John, I've got a couple really good things going in my business, and things that are helping generate more business on my end, even in these market conditions where there's not a lot of inventory, heavy purchase business, and gearing up for the millennials as well, who are we've seen a lot of younger people getting pre-qualified, loan guidelines are coming down, etc. And I'm looking to meet a few savvy real estate agents to partner on some of these deals. Who do you know personally that is a real estate agent? And you shut up, right? No one's going to say, I mean, they're not gonna, I don't know a real estate agent, right? If they do, forget it. They don't really, you've not groomed that relationship enough where they're going to lie to you and say they don't know a real estate agent. So don't worry, move on to the next person. I don't know anyone. Honestly, I don't. Okay. That means that person is closed-minded and have enough of a rapport with them, right? That's why rapport building is so important, right? But 99% of people will say, oh, yeah, I know, Susie Cream Cheese. Where's she at? Keller, Century 21. Where's she at? Okay. So this is what I call qualify them out, reverse the psychology. Do you know much about? So you make it, when I say reverse the psychology, make it look like you're looking to interview them. Which, if you're really doing what I'm teaching you, internet marketing, develop your own leads, you are. Okay, you are. All right. So, do you know much about them? What do you say they run a pretty good business? They do well? Because I can't, to be candid with you, I'm not meeting with the realtor that does 16 other jobs. Their network marketing gig, they're pampered chef. They're on commercials during the day selling lawn tractors. They also do real estate agent, real estate. I'm looking to meet with the serious people. Do you know if they're full time? Yes. Okay. Do they do a decent business? Do you know they do pretty well? Okay. So then we get that. Do you have their cell phone number? Can you grab me their cell phone number real quick? That's how I do it. Can you grab me their cell phone number real quick? You'll get, if you lead with that level of conviction, people will follow. But if you don't, if you're too wishy-washy, would you mind? Is it okay with you if do you have their cell phone number handy? What are they going to say? Yeah, man, let me check with them first, make sure it's okay. They're going to say bullshit like that, right? Because you did not step up with a level of conviction, right? So that's why scripting is so important. Scripted, when I say that, with your words, your personality, your style, but it's locked and loaded, man. And that's the practice part I talked about. Very few people practice ever in this business. Ever. One script do they practice and lock it in, okay? The ones that do crush it, all right? So then you want to profile, tell me about them, or likes for the purpose of building rapport. John, hey, John. So let's just say they gave you a name of referral, Susie Cream Cheese. Hey, Susie, my name is Jason Brown. I'm with XYZ Funding here in Danville. You and I don't know each other, but Pat Fenton's a mutual acquaintance. He's a very good friend of mine. He referred me to you. He said you were an awesome agent. You do very well, and you're really serious about what you do. And I'm really serious about what I do. In fact, I've put together a lead gen program that's designed to help create a two-way relationship with really serious real estate agents. And I would like to see if you'd be interested in getting together with me one-on-one so I can tell you a little bit about what I'm doing, how I'm doing it, how you can benefit from that. If you're interested, do you have time to meet with me this Tuesday or Thursday by any chance? Right? Boom. Now, before you do that, you and I have a mutual acquaintance, and Pat Fenton, we're a good friend. Oh yeah, Pat. Yeah, no, Pat actually told me that you are a big, LA California Angels fan, right? Or whatever. Build some rapport, then go into it. Your success rate will be virtually 100% if you're able to just build some rapport with them. Okay. And you're just honest. You're talking to them. Listen, I'm sure you get calls from a lot. So just script it up. I'm sure you get calls from 16,000 agents a day and wanting you to refer them to business because you run such a successful business. What I'm here to talk to you about is something different, a little bit of a different approach is actually seeing what I do, how it can benefit you and help you grow in your listings, your number of buyers in the stall, etc. And rather than do it on the phone, I would like to get together personally, break some bread with you, tell you a little bit about what I do, learn a little bit about your business, just to see if there's a match. Is that okay with you? Yes, great. I've got 2 openings. One Tuesday at 10. Do the alternative choice. Okay. So my real estate agents, call your centers of influence up right now. Every center of influence you have is aware of 3 real estate transactions per year. It's a timing thing. You have to dedicate a certain amount of time on the phone every single day, every day. You have to be on the phone. This just in, guys. This just in. All right. You have to be on the phone talking to people you don't know every day to make multi-6-figure income in the real estate business. Let me say it again. You have to be on the phone talking to people you don't know, booking appointments with them every day. So we start with people we do know to get to, because again, we want to work the 10-8-6 deal versus 110-1. Have 10 people call, eight of them you get a hold of, 6 of them book, 7 of them book, maybe all 8. Okay. So that's a referring number. So if you know that everyone knows, of situations, 3 deals a year, okay, you got to really hustle and be in front of people. John, as you know, property, you build rapport. How's everything going? How's Mary, the kids, right? You got to be accessible to people. And I'm going to bring Jason Brown on a few minutes because Jason Brown has dedicated himself over the last several weeks to being accessible in his community with his real estate partners. And along the way, you get oh my God, it's so weird you called. It's so weird you stopped in today. I'm glad you're here. Boom, right? But if you're not, nobody knows, right? John, as you know, property values have been growing, and there's not a lot of inventory on the market. Simultaneously, interest rates are rising, and the market's cyclical, which means we've had a good run. While I don't think we'll see a full-blown recession here in the future, the market eventually is going to correct itself and take a dip, which means home values will eventually decrease. So I'm looking to get in contact with people who are teetering, those people that maybe considering selling their home. Do you know anybody by any chance that's about to become an empty nester that's graduating their last child? And this is a good time of year to ask that question to your past clients and centers of influence. Do you know anybody that's about to become an empty nester that's graduating their child? I just simply provide a free analysis of their home, give them what their true value is, and a lot of those people are thinking about downsizing. It may behoove them to grab more money now than wait till a potential dip in the market. So just looking to have conversations with those people. Do you know anybody that's graduating their last child? Right? Do you know anyone in your center of influence that might be interested in a free evaluation of their home's true value? What it would really sell for, not what they would find on Zillow. Awesome. Listen, after you talk to them, you do the same thing. You profile the lead. If they say no, or whatever the case be, if they say yes, or they talk to somebody, you're just doing the activity. Awesome. Listen, man, I'm going to send you a few business cards in the mail. If it ever comes up in conversation that someone's taking a look at selling their home, would you mind simply mentioning my name and then giving them and then giving me a call and letting me know? I'll do the rest. Would you be willing to do that for me, John? Let me do that again. Awesome. Listen, man, I'm going to send you a few cards in the mail, if it's okay, business cards in the mail. If it ever comes up in conversation that someone's taking a look at selling their home, would you mind simply mentioning my name to them and then giving me a call and letting me know who those people are? I'll do the rest, John. Would you be willing to do that for me? right? Ask. Yes. Now you just instructed not their conscious mind, you've instructed their subconscious mind to start looking. And you place that in their subconscious mind. Now, how does that relate to the CRM? Well, what people don't do a good enough job is once you had a conversation with them, you create a simple workflow that you send the cards in the mail. You create a letter template so that the first two sentences are the same for everybody, and then one sentence is handwritten because that's the personal touch you want. So now you only have to write one sentence for every letter, and you create a little three-step workflow, right? You give them a call, you send them a letter, drop a few cards in the mail, right? And then you do a follow-up phone call or email or whatever. Create that workflow. Use the system because remember, it typically takes 6 times for somebody's subconscious mind to lock something in. So simple marketing laws tell us that we have got to remind people 6 times to be on the lookout for us, to become bird dogs for our business, right? It just makes sense. And if you do that routinely, you'll never not have leads. You've got to make yourself accessible. And it's so easy. I think what the hard part for my realtors that are on this call, the hard part for real estate, for people, their belief system teeters because you may go through an entire week and all of a sudden nobody knows of anybody that's selling. Nobody knows about. I mean, this is a waste of my time, right? But it's not. You're building momentum. So if you look at like sales in terms of just, what are the high payoff activities, right? And do it yourself, assign a point system to your business and simply say, I've got to get 1,000 points this month. All right. It's 1 point for a letter. It's 1 point for an email. It's 10 points for a phone call. So weigh it based on that, right? Because, emails, not everybody opens them. The click-through rates are, they're better with video, obviously, 46% versus 1 to 5% with regular email, right? So assign the point values and just say, man, I got to play the game. Got to get 1,000 points this month. In order to do that, they got to get 333, points a week, right? So in order to do that, what are my high payoff activities? Phone, email, Facebook ad, right? So meeting with call it a partner, right? So phone calls and contacts are certain points. Physical meetings, if you run them, are 10 points, right? Getting referrals from those people is worth 20, right? Your number one thing is getting referrals. Number one thing. And if I will tell you, if you work an all referral business, you'll make so much more money so fast, and it will not feel uncomfortable ever, 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 right? So not to say internet marketing is not important, but internet marketing is where I was saying earlier, I want to set the right, place for internet marketing. How you should view internet marketing is, number one, that people are on their phone, but they're not. For my real estate agents, let me break the news to you in case you don't know this, okay? Nobody is sitting there at their home saying, honey, we really should look at selling our house. Man, just can't think of any real estate agents out there, Apparently we have to work with a realtor to come in and help us sell our house. Let's take a look online here and see if we can find somebody that's a real estate agent. All right. Now they're gonna, they may look at properties they want to go to, right? Well, they may start that way, right? So they look at property search, right? And so, or they may what I would do is typically I'm going to refer around if I don't know anybody directly. John, hey, do you know like I do with everything, do you know of a really good real estate agent? I don't want somebody who does part-time stuff. I got an expensive house, and this is money. This is money I'm looking to get out of it. So I'm looking. I want aces. I want studs. Right? Who do you know that you're comfortable with? Great. Susie Cream Cheese. She's really good. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to look up Susie Cream Cheese, and that's what I mean by an online presence. Do you have the stars? Do you have videos? Do you have an online presence? Is there YouTube videos? Are you there? Are you securing that credibility of that referring person, right? Because that's going to be step 2 for virtually everybody, especially when we talk about brokering. The most money most people have is the equity in their home, right? So let me just take a quick minute and see if there's any questions. What's up, Jimmy Healy? Yeah. So you guys all hearing me? Yeah, I'm recording this, Justin. Yes. So, Jace, I'm gonna bring Jason Brown on right now. Jason. I'm just gonna ask you a few questions, but I'm more interested. You very rapidly went from having a daunting looking pipeline, like a dip, okay, then all of a sudden you smashed it. You hit home runs, right? You filled up your pipeline. You got a ton of deals. You're closing a lot of business. Talk to me about your schedule. Talk to me about your mindset, and talk to me about my personal coaching to you and these Friday calls. What are some of the things you learned on these calls that you've applied that have monetized for you? I think ultimately that's what the group wants to know. You there, Jace?
Yeah, I'm here, Pat. Thank you. Good morning, everybody. So, I guess you're absolutely right. It seems like this industry is full of peaks and valleys. And I changed jobs after 18 years to a new company and was struggling trying to get my momentum going. And one of the beautiful things about having Pat as a coach is he got rid of any of the doubts I had. And that was so important because as it seems like this doubt ball was growing on me, and having Pat there just to reassure me, no, keep it simple, go to the people just ask for the business, be confident with conviction, and it will come. And over the last 6 months, I went from having 1 to 2 loans in the pipeline up to over having a pipeline of about $8 million and hiring a new assistant and kind of blowing the doors off this new office. And people complimenting me. They're like, wow, we haven't seen this kind of energy in, gosh, years. And to have that kind of energy in a marketplace where it's a rising rate environment, we have no inventory, and people are looking at each other where the next listing or transaction is going to come from. It really made me feel good. It just gave me that much more power to be able to go out and just sell what I have. I'm different. I'm selling online marketing to my realtors and and showing up at open homes with the proper flyers and just again, I have this new sense of confidence. And honestly, I can say, Pat, having you as a coach has just made the difference in the world. And it makes me reflect because I look at some of the agents that are the top agents in our area, and guess what? They all have coaches. And so I'm convinced if you want to take your business to the next level, you have to have a coach. I mean, you look at sports teams, anything out there, pianists, they have a coach. Golfers, they have their coaches. It's no different in what we do, because what do coaches do when you start to doubt yourself? They pick you up, dust you off, and throw you back in there and fill you full of confidence. And I honestly think for me, the difference has been the confidence. Because again, when that confidence ball is starting to deflate on you, I mean, it tackles you. And I will admit it firsthand. I felt defeated over the last 5-6 months until I started working with you, Pat, on the online marketing and just having something different to say to my agents than just showing up with the biggest bagels and prettiest rate sheets. So.
Yeah, what you just said right there. I mean, no one can deny that, but yet so many people. Like, I mean, you can sit there and say, guys, you're going to be more productive in your life if you just eat better foods and you lose weight. Shed 20 pounds and see how you feel, and more importantly, see how that reflects on your enthusiasm with prospects, your clients, how you portray yourself over the phone. People will be like, yeah, I definitely got to lose weight. I got to lose weight, and then do nothing about it. That's my frustration. Really, like literally, like if you follow it, what do the best do? You define, and everybody does have a coach. Why so many people travel throughout their entire career and not having a coach? And what is a coach? A coach is not somebody that's going to just simply, show up and be like, oh yeah, no, you got to get on the treadmill for 30 minutes, and then hand you a 3x5 card. Say do 4 sets of squats with 135, go up to 225, 275, then get on the bench, do do that, and then do traps, and then do abs, and then finish up with a 30-minute walk and hand you the card and walk away. That's what real estate agents get from their brokers, right? Oh no, here's how you do it. And typically what they get is stuff from 1972 marketing, right? Knock on somebody's, it's outdated. A coach is somebody that has been there, done that has dedicated themselves to not just tactics, but also human psychology, understanding how the mind works. understanding how to properly guide people and ask the right questions to people to find out really what the root problem that people have is. And what I have found in my years of being the one being coached from my mentor, as well as coaching so many people over the years, is that really what inhibits people from success is not knowing what to do. It is the cobwebs. It is that 4-pound computer above their shoulders, between their ears, that inner voice that talks to them all day long, and those limiting thoughts, those limiting beliefs. I don't have this. I don't have money. You need money. Those affirmations at play. They have more money. Well, they have more money they can spend on marketing. That's why they're successful. I don't have this. I don't have the funds. I don't have this to be successful. I don't know what I'm going to tell. I'm going to do this. I don't want to go back to work for a living. I do want to do this. I can, and all these tapes play in their heads all day long. And those limiting beliefs ultimately lead them to limiting actions, because our beliefs and our thoughts are always what drive whether we will take those actions and activities or not. Let me give you a perfect example. Individual I just started coaching has been on every single call for the last 6 months. And when I started doing one-on-one coaching and I assigned him a task to do a video email with an intelligent link, he did not know how to do it. He thought intelligent link was something completely different, an attachment, right? And I'm not knocking this particular individual, but what it told me was, my gosh, I laid out and supported it with a video so they can go back and watch how to do it on something so critical. Jason Brown comes on and talks about how he's used video email, give tangible results, showed you the emails, some of the emails he got in terms of responses from doing it video email that converted into deals. And this person still didn't do it and didn't take the time after the call to lock it in, take the action, never sent out a video email. And then when first time did it, didn't even understand how the intelligent link. That's not a good or bad thing. And I'm not knocking that. That's human nature. And that's why we need somebody there to say, no, dude, this is how you do this. Okay, right? Have that done for me by Thursday. I'm going to take a look at it, then we're going to send it out. Sometimes being successful is just having somebody with a level of psychology and awareness level and accountability in compassion for somebody to help us do the things that we know we should be doing but aren't. The purpose of these Friday calls is to offer a solution. This is a value add, by the way. Most technology companies, you pay their monthly fee for their technology, and it's, you don't get value add. You certainly don't talk to their CEO, and you don't get coaching outside of what it is they're offering as a product. So the group coaching is an economical way to at least offer some degree of accountability and continuum to get the repetitions you guys need to be successful and to take action. But what will make a multi six-figure person, what will move the needle fast and rapid and make you shine really quick outside of anyone in your marketplace is the one-on-ones, right? So whether it's me or somebody else, I don't care, but you got to have one. And what was I going to say to that? And what I mean by that is there really are, I think in so many people's heads, there really are, we imagine they're being so polished people. They're so good. They've offered so much more than we have and do. And, there's so competitive out there to compete with that level of talent and skill. But the reality is this: very, very few people in any of your markets have really stepped up to own and be a true professional in your field. And when you actually do the things that we're telling you and teaching you to do, you quickly rise above the activities and talents and skills of everybody in your marketplace. Okay. So there's only, right now, and it's proven in the numbers right now, 5% of the realtors are writing 95% of the business. The rest of it's chicken scraps, right? 10% of the loan originators are writing 90% of the business right now. The rest of it's, just average income. And I always tell people, if you don't want to make big income, go get a job because it's steady. There's less stress. But being in a 100% commission job, if you're not going to do the activities, is just the worst thing you can do. Too many years go by, you're too stressed. Just go get a job. And I think my buddy Joe came on and said that to you guys. If you're not going to dive into being the best that you can possibly be, and sharpening that blade and doing doing the actions, activities, and having the courage to pick up and talk to more strangers more frequently with a practice rehearsed script that really does sound good and makes sense, then this could be a tough career path for you, But it's the best career path because of the level of flexibility, and because people love you for, you do the right job. You're helping people get in their homes. You're helping finance them. You're helping people, like, wow, man, you're most of the deals are not divorces that you do, right? And you're helping people, accomplish their dreams. In many cases, that first home, there's nothing like it. It's such a great industry. There's more millionaires created in real estate than any other industry, guys. All right, and we know that. But that being said, it requires you to hone and own your skills. So, guys, give me one golden nugget, right? As we talk, I really want to dive into the next 4 weeks of Fridays with Pat. 4 weeks where we do nothing. And I did this 6 months ago. I'm going to do it now again. The next 4 weeks are going to be strictly online presence, internet marketing. Okay. So we're going to take it step by step. Okay. Step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4 over the next 4 weeks. Okay. What I would like to ask you is what was your golden nugget for today? Did today, did it hit you at all? I mean, is there something I said that you agreed with? It was, I always call a golden nugget, what was your golden nugget? Let me just go around. I'm going to unmute the phone real quick and see who's there on the other end. Start with Justin. Justin Voss, you there, buddy?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, buddy. Yeah. What's up, man?
Good. Just coming in here and trying to learn a little bit more, get pumped up here.
Golden nugget. Give me a golden nugget for our time so far.
The calls, 100, down to 1, I like the point system that you were describing also. And, thinking about it, it should be more like 1,000 points a week as opposed to a month. I think that you'd said it both ways, but, 1,000 points a week.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. You can number it however you want.
10 points per call or whatever.
Right. Yeah. Yep. Awesome, buddy. And I'd like to have a conversation with you sometime next week.
Perfect.
Awesome, brother. Thanks for coming on today. Let me go over to Bill Shook. You there, Bill?
Yeah.
What's up? What's up, brother?
How you doing, Pat?
Love my West Coast people that get up early and start their Friday mornings with a phone call. So good, buddy. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. So you want a golden nugget? I kind of have to speak more broadly and just say that it's inspiring to hear you coach over the phone every Friday, regardless of what the topic is. But if there was a single takeaway from today's call, it's the fact that you have to overcome your competence issues and just get out there and do it.
Absolutely.
And kind of hinging off of what Jason Brown said as well. Yep.
It's really as simple as that, Thank you, Bill. I appreciate you saying that, and I appreciate the compliment. And because it does mean a lot to me, it really does. And times you got to hear it. Same thing, man. I've been somebody that's been trying to lose weight for all these months. You just got to. What do they say? The same thing. I just have to go do it. I had a conversation yesterday with somebody that's been a Spider client for 4 years. And I very rarely, because she came on and got intense training and followed the system, loves our CRM, right? Really didn't do anything with the internet marketing, didn't dive into it, but just routinely uses the CRM, and she gets it, loves it. And she had a conversation with me yesterday, called out of the blue, had a question regarding her website. And, and she's taken out a new niche. So I asked her what her volume was, right? And it's not nearly what it should be for her, Now I'm going to get here. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And, and she went on to explain to me what I just said the same thing. I just got to go do it. I know what to do. I just got to go do it. Yeah. And I'm going to call her in 3 months, 4 months. And I suspect, and I hope to God I'm wrong, because I pray that everybody wins and everybody lives an abundant life every single day. that nobody deals with anxiety or stress or anything that really, that's not how life is, not how life's intended to be lived. Is she probably won't move the needle, right? Because yeah, for the obvious reasons, it's having that somebody that you can really, because comfort zones are protected. Okay, let me say this again. Comfort zones are very protected. In other words, when push comes to shove and you realize, man, I just have to pick up the phone. Well, before you pick up the phone, you really won't pick up the phone. You'll sweat. I'm like, oh, what am I going to say? And if I'm not prepared what I'm going to say, and then you, God forbid, you actually do, and then you fumble your words and you don't get a result, hey, that makes you have more call reluctance, right? So when it comes down to it, it's like, oh, I got to practice, and that's really practicing what you're going to do before you're doing it is something that it's outside of most people's level of comfort, right? And then actually doing it is outside. So that's why it's being accountable to somebody. And when they call you back, like when I hear back from Jason or George or whomever else that I work, when I get a call from them saying, "Hey man, you're not going to believe this, dude, I did it." One call, Jason called me. He says, "Pat, I did what you said," and they were like, "How did he word it?" They were like, I was like handing a horse a handful of oats that were eating out of my hand, right? It's awesome to hear that stuff, man. Because what ends up happening, it grows the comfort zone, expands the comfort zone one more notch, one more notch, one more notch, one more notch. And that's why people get excited, because like, holy shit, this worked. You know what I mean? It worked. And I guys, we all have that. Everybody, my coach and my mentors is challenges me, makes me uncomfortable. If you don't have somebody making you a little uncomfortable, you're not growing. And it's so much more easily, it's so much easier to accept that level of discomfort than the discomfort of not having money. So why would we allow our bank accounts and money and being strapped and all those things when we can simply look at the universal law of cause and effect and say that life is what you put in, you get out, you reap what you sow. And our creator does not mock us. He doesn't give us the unlimited, the ability to, to not access our true potential and laugh at us, right? Every single one of us has the ability to create and accomplish anything we've ever wanted. And I can't remember it offhand, but I used to reiterate this Henry David Thoreau quote that says, anything we vividly imagine, ardently desire, sincerely believe in, and enthusiastically act upon must inevitably come to pass. Anything look at the adjectives, right? Anything we vividly imagine, ardently desire, which is a burning desire, sincerely believe in, you own it, and enthusiastically act upon must inevitably come to pass. Do you have a vivid, clear idea of what you want, your income goal, and what needs to happen? Do you have a burning desire to make that? In other words, you're willing to do and run through brick walls, go over that wall, through that wall, practice, dig, scratch, claw, stop golfing, stop what you're doing, sharpen your blade, and build your engine. Burning desire, ardently, sincerely believing in yourself first. That you have unlimited potential, just like the next person, to have any kind of lifestyle that you want. And enthusiastically act upon. Enthusiasm comes from the Greek word enthusiasmos, which meant for the God from within, because back in the Greek day, people that had enthusiasm and their had was a God-given talent, God-given, right? Well, we know that's not the case. We all have the ability to be enthusiastic. So we act with a level of enthusiasm. Everything in your life must come to pass, So that means the only thing stopping you from accomplishing your goals is you. Well, I don't have this. I don't have enough money. I don't have that. That's all. It's all smokescreen. Because if I one time I use this example. I don't like saying it this way, but it's, if you think about the metaphor, the example, you realize what burning desire means. If you had children and somebody put a gun to your children's head and said, "Hey, listen, I'm going to take them away. and you'll see them again as long as you make, $25,000 over the next 3 months, right? You're going to make 25 grand over the next 3 months. I guarantee you that, right? Because you have to. You have no choice. It's keep your kids alive, right? When you act with that level of urgency and that level of discipline, and you make some sacrifices, maybe not going to the 4:30 happy hour on Friday and getting good at your business for a little while. You know what I mean? Getting good at your business. Maybe not going, maybe not drinking some cocktails and waking up the next day. As we know, I'm 46. I can't do that and wake up and be fresh the next day at all. I'm a day and a half. I'm mush, right? Maybe you don't do that then. Maybe you discipline yourself and you work out and you practice a little bit of a script, right? But find out what you want. Find out what you're willing to give up in exchange for it and simply do it. And I promise you, every one of you, a level of success in your business that is extraordinary. Forget about the rate, because gang, I think we'd all say there are people in this, when the real estate market was going haywire, that made no money, right? I think we can also say when the recession hit, there are people that made gobs of money. Because when you have money, when people don't, man, when you hit that recession, you're buying all kinds of stuff. There's always million and billionaires created in recessions because they were disciplined with their money. Now they're buying things left and right, and they're just, oh my God, wait for the market spin, sell it off, and you just hammered it, right? But it's not about the market conditions, the interest rates, never about that. It's always about, okay, because again, your creator doesn't say you can be successful in mortgages such as long as interest rates are right around 4.5% or lower, right? Nobody says, your creator doesn't say, hey, you can be in real estate as long as you live in an average commission market where it's $500,000 and there's not as many realtors as the other markets, right? It's readily available to all of us. We all know that, get that. We're all adults. So guys, that's all I have time for. I got to jump. I'm going to talk to the rest of you guys later on this week, but do me a favor, as always, can you rate your experience today on a scale from 1 to 10? 10 meaning it was valuable to you. It's worthy of your time. You thought it was great. Okay. 1 meaning is a waste of your time. Can you just do me a favor, rate today and put a quick comment down, and know that we're going to hit internet marketing, some more tactical stuff over the next 4 weeks. And I'd love it and appreciate if every single one of you came back on this call. And if anybody's interested, I know Jim Haley hired me yesterday to be his coach, which I'm excited about. If anybody's ever interested in that, just let me know. We can have a conversation. Okay. Have a great Friday. Have a blessed weekend, guys. And I look forward to talking with you again next week. Take care.